you are and who you want offer the same value, considering that they are not. How to find your true self. Finding your true self is almost the same as finding out who you are not. In other words, your fake self. You must understand that most people are fake. We live our lives with the intention to believe what we see. And so when we observe other people, we live as though as we accept that everyone else is being their true selves, as this is the perception of the reality that we have around us. We see, and so we believe. This doesn't mean that while you are conscious, you proactively believe and think that everyone is being honest. But if you are to be honest with yourself, you most likely do not care about strangers enough to be self-aware at all times to acknowledge this fact. And so your subconscious, for the most part, will see a reality around you that it believes to be true. The first concept and question to understand is, what would you do if no one else around you liked the thing that you claim that you like? Would you still participate in that activity? What kind of a life would you live? What kind of choices would you make? Do you currently make choices in your life only because they were brought into your perception of reality by somebody else? What choices would you make now that you ask yourself these questions? What would you start doing? What would you stop? Being able to answer these questions honestly will provide you with the guidance that you can use to teach yourself what life you want to live and what actions that you want to do. Do you like the TV shows that you watch, or do you just watch them because they are there and somebody at some point recommended that you watch them? Maybe not that show, but maybe you were recommended to watch or do something else. Because of this recommendation, did you start to believe and accept that watching this show or doing this thing was not a possibility? Potentially just because someone you knew allows their life to be spent watching those shows or doing those things. Just because other people do things does not mean that you have to do or accept those things. You, in fact, can do whatever it is that you want to do or not do. It's your life, and therefore your rules. Just because something has come into your perception of reality does not mean it has to be accepted. If you have tried something else based on a recommendation, that does not mean you have to find yourself frequently participating in this activity. You can choose to remove yourself from doing this activity at any point in your life, but the choice has to come from you, and you cannot be afraid of the opinions or thoughts of anybody else. You, in fact, must be prepared to abandon these individuals entirely if it means you give yourself the freedom to live the life you wish to live. If you make the same choices your entire life will be the same. What happens if you don't make the choices that you know that you need to make? What kind of a life would this be? Finding your true self starts with knowing what you want and knowing who you want to be. Knowing who you are is the same as knowing who you aren't, in the fact that you are seeking to change. Who you are and who you want offer the same value, considering that they are not the same person that you are aiming to be. To think about who you are is to think about yourself in the present with all your current limitations and capabilities. You should place value on the person you wish to be, the future you, considering this person is without the limitations you currently possess and is in fact the person with the skills and experience you are working to obtain. The present only matters for one reason, and that is to commit yourself to immediate action when you know and are self-aware of what work is required to take you to the future you wish for yourself to be in. Understand that no work means no results, and therefore no change. If you want to change, you have to work, and you have to obtain and achieve results. These results do not always have to be the achievement you're aiming for. In fact, the more failures you obtain, the more likely you are to succeed, as your understanding of the process through constant failure will help you to understand yourself and what information you need to keep moving forward. Knowing your true self means knowing what immediate actions you have to take to get to the future version of yourselves as quickly as possible. Be the change you want to see in the world. Follow for more. Thank you. danleo.